Today we are going to compare soccer and communication through the lens of the interaction model of communication. The interaction model suggests that people communicate when one person comes up with a thought and sends it or encodes it to a second person. The second person receives it and decodes it, comes up with a response, and sends it back to the first person. This begins a cycle of decoding and encoding that we call a conversation. We can communicate verbally, non-verbally, written communication, and now we have the digital age of text messages, emails, etc. So for example, I come up with the thought, how are you? I ask my friend, how are you? He receives this, comes up with a response, I'm well, how are you? I respond to that, and then we're off on a cycle of decoding and encoding. We're off on a conversation. Okay, so in soccer, each team is trying to score and prevent the other team from scoring. The easiest way for the offense to score is going to be to find the area with the fewest defenders, move the ball there, and then advance towards the goal. Each defender is responsible for one area of the field, but they can move around if they need to. So the offense sees an area with few defenders, they move the ball there, defenders see what's happening and interpret it, and defenders leave their area and move around the ball. The offense is stopped in this area, but now there's a free space, so they move the ball over to the free space, and the defenders follow it. This cycle of offense and defense continues until a team scores, and eventually until the game ends. This mimics the relationship between two communicators. The offense encodes messages to the defense, they move the ball into an area, and the defense decodes these messages and sends messages back to the offense. They move their players around the ball. The cycle repeats, decoding and encoding, just like a conversation. Both teams have to take into account physical context such as the size of the field, how tired are they, how big and fast are each player, and psychological context. What's the score in the game? Is the other team really, really good, or are they pretty mediocre? Eventually, both teams become more familiar with one another, and the game slows down. This isn't a direct parallel to a friendly conversation because obviously each team is trying to score on the other, so it's a competition, very unfriendly. But the point still stands. They decode, encode messages back and forth, just like a conversation.